In this video, we're going to be talking about the one and only stock that I'm focusing for an entire week. Now, typically when it comes to trading on Sunday night, when I'm preparing for the market open either on Monday or Tuesday, if there's a holiday on Monday, I'm really just looking at like 3 to 5 to maybe even 7 stocks. But this week in particular, I'm looking at one. Now, the reason why as a trader, I'm looking at very few stocks for the week is because I find that it's easier to really just look at a few stocks and really kind of just understand the patterns and really get familiar with the price action, because I feel like when you're looking at too many stocks as a trader, it could get convoluted. You don't remember it. Of course, each stock is going to trade differently. AMC stock is going to trade different from Tesla stock versus how it's going to trade from a penny stock. So I try to focus on a few stocks. Of course, along the week I could trade whatever I want to trade, but I make primary focuses, right? Just because I feel like as a trader it makes it easier. Now, of course, as an investor, that's a completely different story, because as an investor, you're trying to, diversify and buy index funds and, obviously spread into multiple different baskets. But as a trader, you're really just taking like short-term trades, whether it's like a day trade or a swing trade, and you're really just profiting off the price action. And so I feel that if, I find it easier to really just look at a few. But this week is special because I'm just looking at one specific stock. Right now, that one specific stock is going to be, let's just go ahead and go to my trading platform. I'm using the Webull platform, so if you guys are unfamiliar with this platform, it's okay. Every platform, they're pretty much all the same. At the end of the day, they let you buy and sell stocks. Obviously, they're gonna have different little things that they offer. I find that the Webull platform is really good to me. And also, if you're interested in using the Webull platform, consider checking out the links in the description below, because you could get 2 free stocks simply just for signing up for Webull, right? Now, with that being said, we're looking at Apple at a 4-hour time frame, and we're looking at this day over here, Friday, and we see that Friday we had a major sell-off on Apple stock. Alone, we fell about almost 5%. For the day. And then if we look at what Apple stock has really done in the last couple of days, falling from the high, it's almost been 6%, right? And so that's something that I really try to take advantage of when it comes to trading in the stock market. Of course, I don't just buy stock just simply because it's sold off. I look for a few different things, right? So the first thing that I try to look for is really a stock that has an overall upward trend, right? Because I find that as a trader, it makes it easier, especially if you're a beginner, to trade stocks that overall have a upward trend. Now, of course, I don't always have to do this. I could trade stocks that have a downward trend and try to capitalize off the small little uptrend. But as far as like someone who's starting out, I always recommend, looking at stocks that, if you go throughout time, they're constantly going up, because, that makes it easier. The trend is in your favor. We're looking at a weekly chart. Now look at a monthly chart of Apple and a yearly chart. You can't even see the yearly chart. But I mean, if we just go to a 4-hour chart, we see that Apple generally goes up. That's the trend. But we also have a little bit of a sell-off. Now, of course, I don't also just buy simply just because the stock sold off. I wait for, signs of confirmation, because when a stock sells off, you never know if it's going to continue selling off more, right? As much as I love technical analysis and we draw our lines on the chart, these stocks don't have to adhere to these charts. These supports and resistances, they're really to measure, what's going on with, the stock, but it's not something you could do to predict the market, right? So, stocks could sometimes break below support, break above a resistance. It does not matter. They're really just an area to pay attention to. So we saw that Apple broke below this like support line it had, thus making it a resistance level. And then we see that it's above this green line over here. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this green line is a simple moving average. It's the 200-day simple moving average, by the way. And something interesting with the simple moving average is that we see that, it's been pretty much for the most part, as long as it's been above the simple moving average, either just been going up, and every time it touched the simple moving average, it really adhered to it and bounced off. For example, we see in this area, we bounced off, we came close to touching it, we came back up, and now we're over here. So, patterns do tend to repeat themselves. It's not guaranteed that's absolutely going to go up, but this is why I'm really looking into Apple. Along with that, we also have the relative strength index, which shows that Apple is, oversold, right? Now, when something's oversold, typically that means that, you could get a good deal on it, right? Just like you would do in any other type of situation. situation, whether you're buying groceries, anything, getting a good deal is always great, especially if you're trying to, make a profit. If you're trying to buy something low and sell it high, that's great. So again, that's something that we're looking into. Now, of course, when it comes to my style of trading, I don't focus too heavily on these indicators like the RSI or simple moving average. I just try to focus on price action. But regardless, we do see that Apple has been selling off, and we are going to see either Apple breaking up or Apple going down. There's really only three ways Apple could go: up, down, or sideways, right? And so what I'm really taking a look into with Apple is to see, is Apple going to go up? Because if Apple starts going above this level right here of 149, we know that was a previous support. Now it's a resistance. If we break above that, then that can show signs of confirmation that we're going up in an uptrend, right? I'd rather actually have it go above the exponential moving average for a greater sign that it's going up. But I know that this is going to be a quick day trade that I'm going to make sometime along the week, and I know it's going to be a quick trade. Now, of course, if I'm swing trading, I want more confirmation, right? Because I'm going to be holding it for a longer time period, right? So that's something I'm really looking into with Apple stock. But of course, if Apple starts breaking below the simple moving average, then of course, I could short the stock, right? People don't like to talk about this, but you can make money when the stock market's going down. I do it all the time. I know people sometimes hate doing it. It is sometimes a lot, or not sometimes, it's a lot more risky. I don't recommend it for, people who are starting out, but definitely, there's another opportunity. So really, I'm just focusing on Apple. What is going to happen? Is it going to start going up, or is it going to break below this area of support from the simple moving average? If it does, then that's just a good sign for me to short the stock and potentially just see what ends up happening, because of course the next area of support I have mapped out is around 144, which if we grab the little trend line or the little drawing tool, that's about another 3% drop. Now 3%, depending on your account size, is quite a bit, right? But regardless, I'll also go ahead and go to the news tab for Apple. And so, it just mentions that, GameStop, Apple, Tesla, AMC have been buzzing on Wall Street Bets. I'm sure by this time you guys are familiar with Wall Street Bets. It's just an online forum for people to gamble their life away on stocks. But typically I use this as an indicator for knowing which stocks to trade, simply just because, as a trader, I like to trade things that have a lot of volume. And if people are, talking about it on online forums and it's, really popping up a lot, then that just means that there's going to be a lot of movement, regardless if it's going up or down. As a trader, I want to capitalize off the movement. And so one thing that we see here from Apple is seeing a high interest on Wall Street Bets forum ahead of its first hardware unveiling this year, dubbed California Streaming, to be held on September 14th. At the time of this video, it's about to be it's about to be Monday, technically midnight. So the market's going to open at 9:30 Eastern time Monday. So we'll see what ends up happening with Apple. But we had this Apple event coming on September 14th, so Tuesday. So that's something that I got to also look into as a catalyst event. And typically, when Apple has these events, Apple is very volatile because, either people have a great reaction to what Apple displays or a, negative reaction. Regardless, we're going to see Apple talking about, Apple Watch design changes. They're going to see updates to the MacBook Pro, and obviously probably like updates to the camera feature. I didn't even have to look in the article. I just knew somewhere along the way, that's the main focus with phones these days. Everyone wants to know, is the resolution going to be greater? But regardless, let's go back to the charts real quick, just to kind of, look at Apple a little bit more. So, that's really what I'm looking at from a 4-hour time frame. So we'll see, what Monday and Tuesday presents. I'm expecting a lot of volatility, a lot of movement. And then if we look at the overall S&P 500, right, the ETF for it, which is SPY, which is a ticker symbol, we see that the S&P 500 has had 5 consecutive bad days, which, isn't very typical. The market usually has like 3 bad days, and then typically it doesn't continue in that trend. But when we have 5 red days, that is a big warning sign. So we got to see what's going on with the overall market. We see that it's oversold. We know that Apple plays a big part into the S&P 500 as it's in the weighted index. But yeah, we really just got to see what ends up going down with Apple. Again, that's just one of the stocks, or really the only stock. Again, I could trade whatever I want really, but I'm really going to hone in on Apple. I'm really going to zoom in, put my magnifying glass, and just kind of trade Apple stock. I'm also going to be looking at AMC. Again, this is not really part of the video, but AMC is something that I made thousands of dollars on it last month, and now we see that AMC is kind of pushing up. So that's something I want to really take a look into. Is it going to start dipping down, or is it going to continue going up? Because if we could go above this area of $55, then there's no telling with AMC. So we'll go ahead and see. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are the few stocks that you're looking at, and what is your strategy? At the end of the day, what I try to do is just have a plan and just pretty much execute that plan, because that's all trading is. It's really just having a plan, executing it, locking in profits, and then also making your losses small. Of course, you got to mitigate risk. So with that being said, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Also consider checking the links in the description below to get your 2 free stocks for Webull, and also the Push and Profit program, where you can learn how I trade and also message with me directly. It is having a discount code right now. You could hit the link in the description. There is a little coupon code where you can get a discount code and sign up. But with that being said, guys, hope you're having a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the next video.